What's up, guys? It's CBDK here, and today I got a story time for you guys. And by story time, I mean it did happen in the past. So my car was not hit recently. It was actually hit about 9 or 8 months ago, maybe a year actually. And I just thought I would share the story with you guys. As you can hear by my voice, I am pretty sick, and I was gonna make this video on April Fool's to scare you guys a little bit, but I was in no condition to talk. So I will try not to cough this entire video. It's gonna be pretty hard. But yeah, so the story, where it happened. So it happened at the university I go to. So we have multiple parking structures and parking lots, and I used to park in one of the smaller parking structures there. It's not super small or anything. It's not like super tight, like any competent driver can easily maneuver without doing anything stupid, like plenty space. So one day, one of the longer days I actually have there, I would actually get to school at 8 a.m. in the morning and leave at 8 p.m. So I was there all day long. I had four or five classes, and the last one I had was about 3 hours long, so super long. And so I'm leaving that class, I'm super tired, walking to my car. It was on like the fourth story, walking up the stairs, and I come around, and I'm facing my car like straight on, like I can see the front of it, and I can see that there's like a piece of paper dangling by the behind the windshield wiper. So I'm like just focused on the piece of paper, and I start walking towards my car. I'm like, what the hell is that? So I walk up and I take out the piece of paper and I start reading it. And what it said was, I saw somebody hit your car, and this is the license plate. I think I got like most of it. So that second I like froze, and I backed up and I look at my car, and literally right next to where I'm standing, because I was standing on the side of it, I look down and the entire like front fender is just bashed in. And for a solid 5 minutes, I just stood there in shock. But here, I'll show you guys some of the pictures of the car right now. Yeah, so as you guys can tell, the damage is pretty bad. So I finally like get back to myself and I calm down a little bit. I'm still actually I'm like really pissed at the moment, but I calm down. So I call the cops. So at our school, we have we have our own police department. It's not like security or anything. It's like legit police. So every time you call, they direct you right to your school because it happened on campus, and they're the ones that have to take care of it. But just think about it, like the cops that work at the school, they're obviously not the best or like smartest cops out there, because they're not even working like the regular jobs, or they're either like close to retirement. But I've actually never seen really old police officers there, so I don't know. They're just, I honestly think they're just kind of like the runt of the litter. But anyways, so I call the cops and they say, all right, patrol cruiser, whatever, it's gonna come, is on its way over. So now I'm gonna just draw for you guys how I was parked in the parking structure, so you can just like have an image of what happened and where I was parked, and what kind of car must have been to hit my car to do that kind of damage. So I'll draw for you guys, and yeah, so you guys can get a better understanding. Alright, so here we are. So it's a big square, obviously. That's what a parking structure looks like, pretty much. So we got the entrance here, and you go up. Actually, you drove up like this, and then you turned, and then you go up, and then you turn. Let me just draw this. It's like this usually. You drive up, go this way, and then you have another one up. So it's one of the smaller ones. It worked like that. So we're on the fourth story or so, and you got like a pillar here, pillar here, pillar here, pillar here, pillar here, and pillar here. And the spots usually go like there's spots here, 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 on all the edges. This is some shitty ass drawing, but they're all on the edges, and then there's some right here. Like this. And you get the idea. There's some right here. And you just drive around and go up and up. So, this is where I was. I was right here. There's, see, like the pillar ends right here. And then there's 2 more spots right here. This is the pillar. 2 more. So they're outside and they're on the edge. So I was parked right here. Or no, actually. See, because you can also go up here. So I was parked like right here. That's me right here. Got the wheels. And yeah. that looks like a dick. But anyways. So the way it got smashed was right here. So what I thought of first was when people swing around right here or go around, they really hug the edges right here. And they can clip your car like on the edge right here. But it was all smashed in right there, so there's really not even any fender damage. So nobody did that. The person had to have been parked right here and backed in, backing out to face this way, to drive out that way. He just kept backing up and being a stupid ass bitch he is in his big ass fucking Tahoe, backed up right into me and smashed my back in, or my side in. So they had some damage on the back, but that's pretty much what happened. So they backed out and hit me. And I have no idea, like, how fast they must have been backing up to do that much damage, but they did a lot. And there's no cameras anywhere in this goddamn parking structure. There's always people walking around, but, so, if they hit me like this, there's no way they couldn't have felt that. Like, that was obviously a hit and run, and they just left, because I understand, like, maybe somebody was backing up really slowly, hit it, and then drove out, but there's so much damage, and it was such a hard hit that there's no way they couldn't have felt that. So yeah, they backed into me right there, and that's pretty much what caused it. Alright, so as you guys can see in the drawing, my shitty ass drawing, it had to be a pretty big car, and to smash it in that much from that short of a distance. So anyway, back to the story. So I'm waiting there, and the cop finally gets there, like 10 minutes. Like, it doesn't take 10 minutes. I can walk across the whole campus in 15 minutes walking. There's no way he was that far away. So, but anyway, he finally gets there, and first thing he does, he just starts talking to me like, hey, what up, like, acting all, like, fun. He's like, it starts talking about my car. He's like, oh, I like how it sits. I'm just like, I'm not in the mood at the moment. Like, it's cool that you like my car, man, but, like, do this shit, dude. Like, I gotta go home anyways. So he starts writing his report, blah blah blah, and I give him a letter that the person put behind my windshield wiper. So he calls in the license plate that was written down, and it was like a legit license plate, because like if I saw a car and I didn't get the full thing, I would probably miss some like numbers and letters or whatever. It's like there's a certain amount of numbers and letters in a license plate, and that person got them exactly, and it was like a legit like license plate. It wasn't just like something stupid, you know, random ass numbers and letters. So the cop calls it into his like whatever headquarters. So they call back, on his walkie-talkie, whatever. They call back and they say what kind of car it is and where it's from. And this is the second I knew nothing was gonna get done with this. The second the cop said, oh, they said that this car's from Riverside, California. So that can't be it. Alright, first of all, Riverside, California, that's in SoCal, LA area. I live in NorCal, Sacramento area. It is very, it is very common for people from SoCal to come down to our area and go to school there because a lot of people like switches and vice versa. People from our area go over there. So there's actually, like, I know a ton of people that are from SoCal that go to my school. And this cop says to me, oh, that can't be it, because if the person is all the way from SoCal, they wouldn't have parked here, they'd be at the dorms. Okay, so the dorms are, for those of you that don't know, they're the school, like, living area, you know? So they have their own parking lot, so they have to park there. They can't park anywhere else and take up the other students' parking. So they have their own parking lot. And he says, oh, that can't be it, because if that person was from LA, then they would park over there. They'd be living at the dorms. For being a cop that works at a school and not knowing that literally there's a limit of living there, that you can only be there freshman and sophomore year, there's still junior and senior, and then people that are still, like, over, like, there's a lot of people that don't graduate in 4 years. This dude tells me that that doesn't work, so that can't be it. And that second, he dismissed it, and I knew that nothing's gonna be done, because he's just like, oh, that can't be it. And I'm like, yeah, it can. Like, it's actually very likely that that's the car. I didn't even know what to say. So he dismisses it, and he's like, I'm like, dude, you're gonna, like, take care of it, like, have someone come out there. It's, like, not that hard to, like, call in and have a cruiser roll by where they live or something, because their back taillight was smashed in because all their little pieces were on the ground. They didn't smash any of my taillight or anything, so their stuff was on the ground. So they had it smashed in. There's an easy way to drive by. So he already, like, after he dismissed it, he just says, oh, just call your insurance, they'll cover it. Alright, so first of all, every insurance has a deductible. And my deductible is $1,000, because the less of a deductible you have, the more insurance you have to pay. So the way a deductible works is, if you have $4,000 worth of damage, you pay the $1,000 of the $4,000, and the insurance company gives you the rest, $3,000. So the damage on my car came out to be $1,500, so I had to pay more than half of the money myself. So that was a shitty deal for not being my fault at all. I wasn't even there. I wasn't there all day long. And that was another big thing. It was hard for the cop to find out, like, well, he didn't really try, but it's hard to find out when it happened, because if I could put a time window on it, it'd be easier, but I wasn't there all day long. So, yeah, he dismissed it, so I go home, and I call the insurance company the next day, and I'm like, I'm not letting this go. I'm gonna look this shit up. I hate scum like that. Like, you're just such a lowlife to fucking hit a car and drive away. Like, I'm a pretty understandable person, so if you like, if you hit it and you don't have insurance and you're scared, like, I'm gonna report you, whatever, I would work with you. I would even let people, like, as long as the money gets paid, you can pay it in, like, quarters. I don't give a shit. As long as it gets paid, excuse me. But this person just drove off. I hate people like that. You have to stand up to what you do. If I do something wrong, I admit to it and I stand up to it. I don't just, like, live off of other people's, like, damage and, like, I don't know, but I don't work like that. Just, it's the same thing with the thieves. Like, don't be stealing other people's stuff. So don't damage other people's property and don't take responsibility for it. I just hate that. So, anyways, I start looking it up, and you can on Google look up, like, if you type in the license plate, you can look up, like, the car and make and even the VIN, but you're not gonna find out, like, who owns it or where they live. But you can find out the make, color, everything about the car. So I looked it up, and the license plate came out as a white Tahoe. Tahoes are big SUVs, so that fit the criteria very, very well. Like, for a big, that kind of car, if it were to back up, it could easily do that kind of damage. A smaller car wouldn't have. So, and it was white. It came out as white, and there's white paint on my car. So that was definitely it. So I'm like, oh my god, I got it, that's it. So the next day, I go to the cop station there or whatever, and I start talking to the people. And I'm like, is the whatever officer there? I gotta, like, talk to him that I, like, that's pretty much, that's the car, you have to go and check it out. The person tells me there, oh, he's on his leave right now. He only works 2 days and then has 3 days off. So that was like a Tuesday that happened. And he had 3-day break. So he comes back on a Saturday. So I'm not going to see him because I'm not at school, obviously. Then he works Saturday and Sunday, and then he's gone again. So once I get back, another 3 days. So I'm not going to see him for more than a week. So I knew, like, nothing's going to be done. So I'm like, let me talk to another cop. And this is what pissed me off the most. I love cops, and I respect what they do, and that's why I've been pulled over multiple times, never gotten a ticket, because I'm respectful to them, and I know what kind of job it is and how dangerous it can get. So I don't try to act like a stupid little teenager or anything like that. But this cop pissed me off so much because he walks in and he starts acting like a dick to me. First of all, he walks up and pretty much acts like I'm wasting his time. He's a police officer at a goddamn school. He's not doing anything all day long. It's not like a once a week we have a fucking shooting at our school. That doesn't happen. He just roams around harassing students. That's what he does. That's all he does in his job. He doesn't even give parking tickets. That's not even his job. There's parking people for that. This fool doesn't do anything. He just roams around and just looks at and catches hobos. That's what they do. They catch poor hobos trying to find food in the fucking garbage cans. But anyways, he starts acting like a dick to me. And one of the things he says, oh, it says you were parked on like the edge parking. Oh, that's a bad parking spot. So at this point, he's pretty much saying it's my fault that I parked in that parking spot. And that's why I got hit. That's what he said. He says, oh, that parking spot is a bad parking spot. Everybody gets hit in that. So I'm like, what? That has nothing, like, that doesn't resolve the fucking whole problem. You can't just, oh, everybody gets hit right there, so fuck it. Like, everybody who gets hit in those spots, we don't give a shit about them. So he basically acted like that. And I'm like, I started getting pissed off. So I started, like, getting pretty mad and raising my voice a little bit. And I'm like, what the fuck would you have a parking spot on the end if we shouldn't park there? Take off the parking spots and it won't be a problem. And first of all, that wasn't even, it had nothing to do. What he was thinking is that people come around, like I showed you guys in the drawing. He thought that people come around and they hit the corners. I understand that would be a bumper. This fool just backed in and drove off. There's no way he couldn't have felt that. So this cop starts blaming me and acting like a dick. And he's like, well, that's the other officer's things. I can't do anything about it. You have to wait for him to come back. So I'm like, alright, like, at that point, I was ready to sue that motherfucking school for not having any goddamn cameras. Like, it's not, come on, like, it's not that hard to have a camera on the exit of the parking structure. At least you can get the back, license plate of who was there at what time. And we could have even seen, like, the broken taillight, but he just dismissed it at all. He was a total dick to me. And so at that point, I knew nothing is going to get done. So I just had to leave. And I knew I'm going to be paying for it. And I accepted that right after. I knew nothing was going to be done. So, $1,000 is not going to kill me. So I just went and paid it and dealt with it. But honestly, out of this story, like, I honestly think that hit and runs should be taken a little bit more seriously because, like, honestly, at least at, like, a school like that, nothing else happens. So I just think, like, these kind of police officers that don't have a lot of things to do, they just get so lazy that, like, they don't feel like doing anything else. It just, like, 1 second they get something that you have to actually do, like you have to think and work a little harder to do. They don't do that. But I didn't really give up. I drove around for like a week straight. Like every time I had a break, I'd roll around trying to find the car. But I couldn't. It's a huge school. There's like 40,000 students. So it's pretty much close to impossible to finding it. But it was definitely that car that came up. They were just too lazy to have anyone check it out, and it could have resolved my whole problem, and I wouldn't have to have paid. But the laziness of the people not doing their job is just crazy. Like, that's why they're working at a school and not out there trying to get promoted to whatever police officer promotions there are. I don't know. But it was a super shitty deal. I don't know what I was trying to get across with this. Was pretty much just a story to tell you guys. But there's plenty of people I know that stuff like this has happened to as well. And I feel like it always happens to, like, for some reason, nicer cars are a magnet to getting hit. Like, I had this other kid who got hit, and he had a brand new 2016 STI, one of those Hyper Blues at our school, got hit as well. But that person was, like, pulling into a parking lot, parking spot, and he, like, scraped half his, like, bumper off and, like, pulled it off. And yeah, it's just, I don't know, people like that, it sucks. I think it needs to be taken a little bit more seriously, and it is damage to other people's property, so it shouldn't just be taken off, like, put off to the side and, oh, your insurance company will handle it. Yeah, but that's pretty much the story. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and yeah, hopefully none of you get hit, and enjoy the rest of your day. Peace!